You ever open up an app and it just gets you? It knows your currency, it uses the right date format, it speaks your language, and it feels like it was made just for you. Well, it's not magic. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible engineering that makes all of that happen. Let's dive in.
Seriously, it's one of those things we totally take for granted, right? You fire up a shopping app, and everything feels right, perfectly tailored to you. But how does it actually know what to show you? Let's look at a couple of super simple examples.
So imagine you're browsing from the United States. The app shows you a price, clear as day, $19.99. Makes sense. But what happens when your friend in India opens the very same app, looking at the very same item? Bam! Just like that, they see the price in Indian rupees. The app just adapts. No buttons to press, no settings to change. It's seamless. And that little switch is our first big clue. And hey, it's not just about money. Think about dates. A delivery estimate in the US would probably look like this: month, then day, then year. Pretty standard there. But for that same user in India, or honestly in most of the world, the app automatically flips it to the format they expect: day, then month, then year. It's these tiny automatic adjustments that make an experience feel truly natural instead of awkward. So yeah, this amazing adaptation is no accident. It's actually the result of a really powerful partnership between two core ideas in software design. One of them you can see, and the other is completely invisible. Okay, first up is localization. This is the visible side of the coin. All those changes we just saw, the currency, the dates, that is localization in action right there on your screen. So what is it? Localization, and you'll often see it shortened to L10n because, there are 10 letters between the L and the N, is all about adapting an app so it feels like it belongs. It's how a company makes sure their product doesn't just work in a new country, but actually feels right by changing the language, the visuals, even the layout to fit what local people expect. And check this out. This shows you just how deep localization goes. It is so much more than just translating a button from add to cart to Añadir al carrito. Look at the numbers. In the US, you separate thousands with a comma. In Spain, it's a period. And in India, the separator system is completely different. It's all about sweating the small stuff. Okay, so localization is the what? It's the stuff we can see and touch on the screen. But that just leads to a bigger question, right? How on earth does an app juggle all these different versions for dozens of countries without becoming an absolute tangled nightmare of code? Well, the answer to the how is the unsung hero of global software: internationalization. This is the invisible, behind-the-scenes foundation that makes all that pretty localization possible in the first place. Internationalization, or you guessed it, i18n for the 18 letters between the I and the N, is all about the architecture. It's about building the app from the ground up with a global mindset, making it flexible enough to be easily changed later without having to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. And this comparison just nails it. Instead of hard-coding the text, literally locking the words add to cart into the code, a developer who is thinking globally uses a placeholder, like a key. Then the app just looks up the right translation for that key, depending on where you are. Same for currency. It's brilliant. So this is the really crucial part. You simply can't have good localization if you don't have a solid internationalization foundation. They aren't two separate things, they're partners. They work together to create a truly global product. The best way to think about it is like building a house. Internationalization is all the foundational stuff, pouring the concrete, putting in plumbing and wiring that can handle anything. Then, localization is coming in and decorating each room, picking the right paint, the right furniture, and the right art for the person who's actually going to live there. And really, this is the big idea you should walk away with for i18. It is the smart, strategic, one-time investment in building a flexible system. You do that hard work up front so that you can create endless local versions later, and that saves companies an unbelievable amount of time and headaches when they want to grow. Okay, so we've got the what and the how. But so what? Why does this technical partnership actually matter to us, as the people using these apps every single day? For us, the impact is, well, it's everything. When an app gets this right, it feels completely intuitive. It just works the way your brain expects it to work. It builds this incredible sense of trust and comfort because it feels like the creators actually cared about your culture and your language. And that trust is what makes you stick around. And that's really the ultimate goal here. Thanks to this powerful duo of internationalization and localization, a single piece of software, one app, can connect with millions of people across dozens and dozens of unique cultures, respectfully and successfully. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. So I've got a little challenge for you. The next time you open one of your go-to apps, take a closer look. Check out the details, the currency, the dates, the little phrases they use. I promise you'll start to see the invisible work of internationalization and localization everywhere, making our digital world feel just a little bit more like home.